What's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. We're back with the amazing Sam Cronin.
Hi guys.
Yo, many of you guys haven't know is that Sam Cronin is the current two singles tennis player of Niwot High School. He's an amazing, talented tennis player. He has very nice characteristics. Absolute talent. He's also the son of the coach, Mika Cronin, which is
Yeah.
the coach of Niwot. And many of you guys didn't know that I was two singles myself. So I graduated. So today, I decided to do a fun video where I interview Sam about his tennis, about his life, to see what its perspective like to be two singles, from that kind of view. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to click on the bar down below and check out my videos and keep updated. So Sam, how are you doing today? Can you tell us more
Yes,
about
sir.
yourself?
I'm good, Alan. Yeah, so I'm a junior at Niwot High School this year, going into my senior year next year. And yeah, son of the coach at Niwot, Mika Keronen. Definitely helped me get a high spot. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's see. I'm looking at some schools right now that I might be going to for tennis. And so I've just been training, been getting grades up, and just yeah, all of that good stuff.
Oh, that's some good stuff, dude. That's being able to stay active during this hard time is awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
let me ask you the question: is what really got you started into tennis? Was it just that you had a wonderful coaching dad who was Coach Miyaka, just like super good at coaching, and he influenced you, or was it more like from your own passion?
Yeah, well, I didn't start with tennis right away. I played soccer for a long time until I was about maybe 8 years old, but then I really got into tennis like 8 to 9 years old, and then ever since, like I kind of fell in love with the game. And my dad is like, he's kind of the perfect coach for me, and like I've just kind of I followed him, and now I'm here, and I'm happy to be where I am.
Oh, that's phenomenal because that's awesome. Let's glad to hear because a lot of times in players that a lot of times is they it's hard to have sometimes with some players they struggle to have a parent as a coach because you have a relationship with them as a parent family and also as a
Hmm.
coach. So for
Yeah.
you, how do you find that in balance? Like how do you perfectly find that balance in terms of coaching wise with your dad?
Well, for me, it's like he can be my dad at home, but he's my coach on the tennis court. So like I'm not gonna let like some like personal like something personal that happened between me and him at the house affect me on the court. Like he's my coach on the court, and that's where it stays.
Oh, that's good. Have you ever
Hmm.
guys have you guys ever do you guys ever get into arguments in tennis like about your coaching wise and do you ever complain be like dad I'm doing the best I can and he's just like yo Sam get your ass up and you just start getting your game head in the game.
No, yeah, it's true. We definitely butt heads a lot. Like that's kind of the thing that goes with the father son tennis relationship. We like to we kind of go back at it with each other, but at the end of the day, like we work it out, and we're just trying to he's trying to get me better, and I'm trying to get better. So like we both have the same goal in mind, and we're just sticking to the process.
Oh yeah, dude, that's for sure. I think that's what makes it unique is that I think that strengthens your relationship with, Coach Miyaka and everyone around because through those coaching times, through like arguments, through happiness, through wins and losses, through heartbreak and
Yeah,
tears, through happiness, that brings you closer to each other and really help you understand. So I'm glad that it's
yeah,
awesome. You're really blessed to have a, parent as a coach, because for me, I always, the only person I got to hit with was the wall, so my only best friend was the wall, and I didn't have a ATP dad as a coach. ATP greatest coach of all time. So, you know, so that's great for you. So what qualities do you like about your? What quality do you like by yourself in tennis, and what are like qualities that you most value about yourself? Like, what do you think your strength is?
um, I'd say I'm a very competitive player. Like I hate losing the most out of anything. Like I might play some of the worst tennis ever, but no matter what, I'm still gonna try to get the dub. Like even if I can't make shots, I'm still gonna like try to figure out ways to get the win. And it's just like perseverance and like never giving up for me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very important characteristic, And a lot of times in
Hmm.
college tennis, which you're deciding to play soon, is that, there's a balance between winning versus winning versus sportsmanship. So a lot of times in college tennis is that people do whatever they can to win. They don't care about their behaviors on court, racket smashing, yelling at
Right.
coaches and all sorts. So as
Hmm.
yourself, as a well-defined player like yourself, what would you say your balance is? Like, do you value more about winning, or do you value about having that balance too? Of maintaining that characteristic in sportsmanship.
Right. Honestly, for me, it's winning because I'm not the first. I'm gonna just be honest here. I am a bit of a hothead. Like, I will be very mad if I start losing, and I'll make sure everyone knows about it because like sometimes if I can like get some crowd reaction and like them cheering me on, and then I kind of get some momentum back, that really like that helps me mentally get back into the match. And so personally, I kind of value my hot-headedness because
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of gives me it can be it can be like non-beneficial but beneficial at the same time too.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're able to
Yeah.
sort of turn that characteristics of your being able to having that hot-headed in times, be able to turn into a positive and shift the match around and basically use it to your advantage, right? So that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Alan, can we hold for a second?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's awesome. It's great to see that you're able to turn that, um, that characteristic of you and use it to advantage. And when you're playing, and let's say you're playing at state, you have a big ass crowd, and the crowd are sometimes like some are cheering for you and some are just like boo or just cheering for the other team, and you get pissed. How do you like do you just be like screw you like to the people, or do you just sort of like use it against you, like use it towards you? Like how do you shift that around when your crowds are not cheering?
Well, if it's not the state finals, I will not yell screw you to them because that is how we get points taken off. But like, yeah, like sometimes parents will get up in my face after a match and say, "You're the worst winner I've ever seen." And I try not to make it that way. Like I try to be like, just kind of definitely an intense player, but like also like caring and I found a little bit of sportsmanship, but some parents just do not like the way I play and like my characteristics around the game. And so they come up to me and they tell me that I'm a bad winner, and I say, "Well, I'm a winner." And then yeah, there's a little bit of drama, but
I mean, those are like, minimal drama, and that's good because it's always that shows your competitiveness, and that's good because if
mhm.
been playing tennis with you before in the past before, and even when you get angry, it's a lot of time when you get angry, it's sometimes just mad at yourself, not the
Oh
opponent, which
yeah,
is good because sometimes I play some opponents, and when they lose the point, they chuck their racket across the fence towards my side, and I'm like, hey, I mean, we're just playing a match. Why are you, checking the racket across? So it's good that you're able to maintain that, very nice
yeah,
balance where keeping that characteristic of having this competitiveness and also maintaining that drama of
right, right.
so our next question is, as you know, for me, playing at two singles, I always like to grunt. Grunt is something that makes me feel sexy and cool. I like to do like all sorts of grunt. Sometimes when it's like a small point, I keep it like I like short grunts, like hey, 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 hey. If it's long, I like to have long sessions. You have long sessions of grunt and just be like just keep that intense. So, so Sam, do you like to grunt? And what quirky habits do you have, on the court?
I'll throw in the occasional grunt every now and then, but I have to be very dialed into the match. Sometimes I do it just to piss off my opponent, but mainly I just have to get really, really dialed into the match to where like I'm pretty fatigued, so like that's just kind of the noise that comes out. But the sound I'd make when I do, it's nothing like extreme, but I'd say that it's from the lines of E to it's like around
Oh, I
there.
see, I see, I see. So you keep a fine boundary. So for me, I definitely like to piss my opponents and just on the shorter ones make some and for the longer ones to and just keep that much intense. it's like you want to have you want to make it tennis interesting, because tennis is always
True.
a single back and forth game, and without any grunts, nobody will be watching women's tennis or men's tennis or all sorts of tennis, both mixed doubles, all sorts of double. It would be boring. It'd just be a no sound image. So
Yeah, sound effects and they're funny. I love sound effects.
So would you say, oh, that's awesome, would you say you have any rituals when you're playing tennis? Like for me, mine would be doing when I'm playing two singles and matches, I'll be between the points, I will take 3 deep breath and go to the fence back there and touch the fence with my racket. So it's like a mental reset for me. So I
Wait,
go,
I do that too.
oh really? You do that too? So like you go back to the fence, you walk back, touch your racket against the fence. It's like a mental reset. Hey, it's a
Yeah,
new point, what kind of
yeah.
habits do you have,
Yeah,
ritual
so just like that, like between points, I'll go back to the fence and I'll tap it twice, just
what?
kind of like a reset. And then let's see, I have some pre-match kind of like kinks I do. I always have to do like 10 sets of stretches, like for my arms and then my legs and then my back and my core. Like I've been getting injured lately, and so I've been taking way better care of my body because like I've learned that a little bit I'm breakable. Let's say that.
Oh, that's good though. Be able to recognize, being do those stretches, that's things are like moving into a positive direction and not preventing those injuries. And
Right.
so why do you like to smack it the offense, twice, like to reset the point as your ritual? Like is it not just once, not 3 times. You like to smack the fence, twice.
I just kind of boop boop twice, and it's just kind of my way of like reset.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just like it just kind of like slows everything down for me, and I'm just kind of able to, my brain just resets right there, and then I'm ready to go.
Hey man, that's awesome. Like you can see like ATP tennis player, like best player in the world, one of the best players, Nadal. He has OCD too. He has an OCD, and he does his own rituals where he set his bottles like exactly like right next to each other, and then
Right.
before he serve, he has to like grab his ass, because it's like itching him. It's like it's not.
Yeah, it's the wedgie.
Ritual, it's like to the point where sometimes where it's not even itching him, but he just had to grab his ass because like he has
Oh yeah.
to like have that ritual. So it's whatever works for you. If it works, great. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's awesome.
Hmm.
So basically, what would you say is your best moment on the tennis court? Like what would you say consider like if you were to close your eyes right now, just think of your best moment you had on the tennis court. It could be a win. It could be a victory as a team. It could be a victory by yourself or with a coach, with any like kind of relation in tennis. What would you say your best moment is?
My best moment, I'd have to say, happened. I think it happened sophomore year when my partner Mona Sayani and I made it to the finals at state for one doubles. And we didn't win the finals, but I remember in that match, I made my first in-match tweener winner. And I thought that was really cool. And that gave us momentum for a little bit of time, but they came back to win the match anyway. But I enjoyed that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good.
Hmm.
And from that moment, did that moment just really strengthen your passion for tennis and make you want to do college tennis or want to pursue that, or that kind of
Yeah,
moment?
shots like that. It's kind of like the extra effort that you put into tennis. It's just everything extra you put in will always benefit you on the tennis court. And I just feel like as long as you're giving the best effort you can, like it'll show through in the end.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like whatever efforts you put in, it definitely like hard work pays off. Eat, rest,
Yeah, exactly.
it does pay off. So, I'm gonna ask you
Mhm.
one more question before we get to the more funny questions about tennis.
Okay.
Is like if you're going back, you're a junior now. You've been there for 3 years, so you're sort of like a veteran now. You've been
Mhm.
playing this game for a long time. If you were to ever give a freshman who's coming into tennis advice, what would you give? Like, what's the advice would you give to them?
What I'd say is like don't really don't get too scared by all of this because like really if this freshman is like skilled enough to be playing varsity, like they'll make the team. But if like I feel like a lot of freshmen when they get into Niwot, they get really nervous, especially during like tryouts, and they might lose to someone they wouldn't lose to. And I feel like my advice to that freshman would be like just go in there trying to win because like tryouts is just to see where people land and like you'll be on varsity, so just play like you always do.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's wonderful, advice. I'm sure like freshmen when they're coming in, they're gonna be watching this video and be like, "Yo, all these things biased," and then after that, it's gonna be like, it's really just gonna impact, their lives and
Yeah.
stuff. So, now we're gonna get to the more funny question. We're gonna go to
Okay.
some more funny questions about, you can see that, for me playing two singles and now high school, with the playing two single for high school, it's funny because throughout the whole like high school years, all 4 years, I was only able to date two girls, right? So like one corresponds with two girls. So for you, you're also two singles right now. You're in a perfect relationship, but how do you get that popularity in tennis? Like tennis seems a sport that where it's like everybody's like, oh, you play tennis. They're never gonna be like, oh, you're football. Just like, oh, nice, damn, that's so awesome. They look at tennis, oh, they just be like, that's nice, that's tennis, that's cool, that's cool. How do you get that, group? How do you get that like, huge group and popularity and with tennis and like, playing two singles and getting all the girls and stuff?
Well, if I'm honest, like I don't really like to flex anything about my tennis because I know if they'd ever come to watch a match, they'd see Neil Wilcox on the court next and be like, "Oh my God, this kid's a tank." And then they look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, he's okay." But instead of like flexing my tennis, I just really like to I enjoy being social, that's for sure. And I just enjoy like talking sports with people, and that's definitely gotten me friendships through the years. And yeah, now I have a girlfriend that comes to every single tennis match I have, which is
Olivia,
awesome.
right? Olivia, right?
Livia, yeah. Shout out Livia.
Oh, what a wonderful boyfriend. Just give a shout out, in the video. And that's awesome. So basically, I see that. So basically with you think that with the corresponding to the tennis position, like number one singles, two singles, the higher the position doesn't make you get more girls, right?
Yeah, I guess not because like you could be one singles and you could look like a toad, and then there could be a four doubles like goddess down there, and they could be getting all of the girls.
Oh, that's for sure. That's definitely
Yeah.
that's the balance. Being able to, having that social life and being able to maintain tennis is something, super important because a lot of time, for us is we get drawn to one or the other, like tennis, then we have our social life is, in lack. And if you all into like, social life, then our tennis game suffers. So it's great that see you find that balance.
You're right.
Um, Another more question is that's going to go into more of my personal thing about tennis. Maybe you can talk about like your experience too. Is to see is that for me playing tennis like all 4 years like I was very committed to tennis, and then basically when I was applying to college I was applying to a lot of college. There's like Metro State for tennis and Montana State and all these places and Purdue. Um,
Hmm.
so for me, with my academics, I was able to get to Purdue and probably bench for the tennis. But
Hmm.
what really went downhill from there for me was that all 4 years I was doing well, and just at the end of the year, something happened with a breakup, and basically I collapsed into depression and just completely, give up on that dream of playing college tennis, of going to Purdue and playing that, you know, bench spot for tennis. So how would you say
Right.
like, for yourself, I just want to see like, um, I just want to give you like, advice about, never like letting, anything, affect what you play in tennis. Your goal, you're so good at tennis that, everything you do in pursuit, don't make the same mistake I did, always play college tennis. Because,
Right.
if you look back to 4 years, you're going to see a lot of regrets if you don't play tennis, so how do you find that like balance factor with, being able to attain that balance factor?
Well, being able to obtain that, it's just kind of like you can't let outside outside factors really affect you when you're looking at the bigger picture. And say something happens with my girlfriend and I before I get into college tennis. I can't let that affect what's going to happen to me, and I have to move on, and I have to go I have to do the bigger thing that I set my mind to from the start, and that's kind of what it's all about.
Oh, that's awesome. You just have your eyes on the prize, just
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah.
And that's really something, really important for the people, everybody to hear is that, no matter like what struggles you're going through, just keep persevering. Because, there's always going to be that lighting point. And, for me, I made the mistake of not playing college tennis. So all my luck, I'm giving all my Fooster luck, all my Fu Man luck, all my, good JoJo, all into you, So I'm putting my trust in you to do as well as you can and stay, and try to play college tennis. It doesn't matter what you play, D2, D1, low D1, D2, D3. It doesn't matter what tennis you play. As long as you play tennis,
Yeah.
you're that experience will be good. So I really give everything to you and trust you to make good judgments, and that, no matter what happens, promise me that you will play college tennis.
Okay, I promise, Booster.
Sounds good. So, it's been an amazing time, talking to you. We had a really good session. It was really great to see how you're doing, able to carry on your charisma and your passion for tennis. And, hope everything goes well with tennis. I support you in the career. If there's anything you need to know, like if you any advice, just ask me or anything, and that'll be awesome. So excited to play tennis with you later, and good luck, Sam.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you for having me for the interview.
Yeah, no problem. So, all right, guys. So this wraps up for the video. Make sure to follow Sam on his socials down below, which will be linked down below. And give a huge shout out to Sam. And let's go, Sam. You're going to do great. So sounds good. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Bye, guys.